Good morning, everyone. We are here to discuss the answers to PR6-3A requirements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, based on PR6-3A budgeted income statement and supporting budgets, the budget director of Feathered Friends Inc., with the assistance of the controller, treasurer, production manager, and sales manager, has gathered the following data for use in developing the budgeted income statement for December 2016. So, these are the data. From the instructions, we will answer numbers 1 to 5. Number 1 is prepare a sales budget for December. 2. Prepare a production budget for December. 3. Prepare a direct materials purchases budget. 4. Prepare a direct labor cost budget. And 5. Prepare a factory overhead cost budget. Number 1. Prepare a sales budget for December. So the formula for the budgeted revenue is expected sales volume multiplied by the expected unit sales price. Presented below is the sales budget for Feathered Friends Inc. for the month ending December 31, 2016. So using the formula above, for the birdhouse, it has a unit sales volume of 3,200. We'll multiply it by the unit selling price of $50. So the total sales for the birdhouse would be 160,000. For the bird feeder, its unit sales volume is 3,000. Multiply it with the unit selling price of $70. The total sales would be $210,000. So the total revenue from sales for both the birdhouse and the bird feeder for Feathered Friends Inc. will total to $370,000 of revenue from sales. 2. Prepare a production budget for December. In order to determine this, you just need to follow the formula that was discussed by the previous reporter. So, for Feathered Friends Inc., for the month ending December 31, 2016, for the bird feeder, expected units to be sold is 3,200. Add the desired units in December 31, 2016 based on the given data, which is 290, less estimated units in December 1, 2016, 320. Therefore, the total units to be produced is 3,170. Meanwhile, for the birdhouse, the expected units to be sold is 3,000. Add desired units in December 31, 2016 of 250, less estimated units in December 1, 2016 of 270. Therefore, the total units to be produced for a birdhouse is 2,980. Number 3. Prepare a direct materials purchases budget for December. So we all know that there are 3 steps in determining the direct materials purchases budget. So in step 1, determination of the budgeted direct material required for production, the formula shall be as follows. Budgeted production volume times direct material quantity expected per unit. So for the bird house and for the bird feeder, the budgeted production volume is taken from number 2, which is 3,170 for the bird house and 2,980 for the bird feeder. Uh, by using the formula, we will derive the budgeted direct material required for production for the bird house for wood as 2,536, for plastic 1,585. For the bird feeder wood, it's 3,576, and for plastic, it's 2,235. So, to sum up the total budgeted DM required for production for both the birdhouse and the bird feeder for wood, it is 6,112. And for plastic, it's 3,820. Step 2 is the adjustment of the budgeted material required for production for beginning and ending inventories to determine the direct materials to be purchased for each material. So we will just follow the formula based on my previous video. So it's materials required for production, add desired ending materials inventory, less estimated beginning materials inventory. Therefore, we will get the direct material quantity to be purchased. So in this case, for wood, the direct material quantity to be purchased is 6,132. For plastic, it's 3,780. Just use the answer from step 1 for the materials required for production and the formula based on step 2. Step 3 is the computation of the budgeted materials purchased. It can be computed by multiplying the unit price with the direct material quantity to be purchased. So, by using the formula for wood, we will have the budgeted direct material to be purchased of 42,924. Meanwhile, for the plastic, it's 3,780. So adding this together, we will get the total budgeted materials purchased for December for uh, in the amount of 46,704. So this is how a direct material purchases budget uh, incorporated into one by using the steps. So as you can see, the total direct materials to be purchased is the same. It's $46,704. Moving on, number 4 is prepare a direct labor cost budget for December. Based on my previous video, there are two steps to answer this. So step 1 is determination of the budgeted labor hours required for production. The formula for this is budgeted production volume times direct labor hours expected per unit. So the budgeted production volume for the birdhouse and bird feeder was taken also from the previous report of my co-reporter. So for the birdhouse, the budgeted production volume is 3,170. Meanwhile, for the bird feeder, it's 2,980. So by using the formula, for the birdhouse, the budgeted direct labor hours required for production is 634. For assembly, it's 951. For the bird feeder, fabrication, it's 1,192. And for the assembly, it's 1,043. To get the total budgeted labor hours required for production, we will just add the total number of labor hours for the birdhouse and the bird feeder for fabrication and for assembly. So for fabrication, it's 1,826 labor hours. And for the assembly, it's 1,894. Step 2, determination of the total direct labor cost. So what we're going to do is we just have to multiply the direct labor required for production by the hourly rate. So the direct labor required for production is the answer from step 1. So for fabrication, the direct labor cost is 29,216. For assembly, it's 23,928. Adding it all together, the total direct labor cost is 53,144. So this is the direct labor cost budget wherein the steps are incorporated to show that the total direct labor cost will amount to 143,632. So number 5 is prepare a factory overhead cost budget for December. So this is the last number. So what we just did is that we just added all the factory overhead cost for Feathered Friends Inc. So we just added the indirect factory wages, depreciation of plant and equipment, power and light, insurance and property tax. So it summed up to 109,000. So that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to continue discussing the solution to problem 6-3A for numbers 6, 7, and 8. So for this particular problem, for budgeted income statement and supporting budgets. So the problem tells us that the budget director of Feathered Friends Incorporated, with the assistance of the controller, treasurer, production manager, and sales manager, has gathered the following data for use in developing the budgeted income statement for December 2016. So the problem gave us with an estimated sales for December birdhouse for 3,200 units at $50 per unit, and for the bird feeder of 3,000 units at $70 per unit. So the problem also gave us the estimated inventories at December 1 for the direct materials and the finished products of wood and plastic. For direct materials, for wood at 200 feet, and for the plastic at 240 pounds. For the finished products, the birdhouse would have 320 units at $27 per unit. For the bird feeder, 270 units at $40 per unit. Then the problem also told us that the desired inventories at December 31 direct materials for wood and plastic would be the same at 220 feet for the wood and 200 pounds for the plastic, while the finished products for the birdhouse would have 290 units at 27 per unit and 250 units for the feeder at $41 per unit. The problem also gave us the direct materials used in production, in the manufacturing of the birdhouse, and in the manufacturing of the bird feeder. And the direct labor requirements were given as well as the estimated factory overhead costs for December, which are indirect factory wages of $75,000, depreciation of plant and equipment of $23,000, power and light of $6,000, and insurance and property tax of $5,000. So, in order to prepare the cost of goods sold budget for Feathered Friends Incorporated, we should first get the finished goods inventory at December 1, 2016. So for finished goods inventory, December 1, 2016, the birdhouse and bird feeder, we would have to multiply 320 times $27, and that would give us $8,640, and 270 units by $40 would give us $10,800, in a total of $19,440. So that amount goes right here in the first line item in our cost of goods sold budget. Next is we have our work in process inventory of 29,000. So for our direct materials inventory beginning, we have to compute for that by multiplying 200 units of wood by $7. That would give us $1,400, and 240 units of plastic by $1 would give us $240. In return, that would be $1,640 for the total direct materials inventory beginning. So we would add that to our direct materials purchases of $46,704, and it would give us the cost of direct materials available for use of $48,344. Then we would deduct our direct materials inventory end at December 31, 2016 by multiplying the 220 units of wood by $7 per unit. That would give us $1,540, and multiply the 200 units of plastic as well by $1 per unit, and that would give us $200. In return, the total direct materials inventory at December 31, 2016 would be $1,740. So the total cost of direct materials placed in production would be $46,604. We add the total cost of the direct labor of $53,144 and the factory overhead of $109,000. That would give us the total manufacturing costs of $208,748. For us to get the total work in process during the period, we add the total manufacturing costs of $208,748 to the total work in process inventory beginning of $29,000. So that would give us the total for that period in terms of the work in process. And then we would deduct the work in process ending account balance of $35,400. So the total cost of goods manufactured for that period would only be $202,348. So in order for us to get the cost of finished goods available for sale, you add your cost of goods manufactured that we just calculated to the finished goods inventory beginning amount, which we already calculated a while ago as well, of $19,440. Then you deduct your finished goods inventory by multiplying the given amount a while ago for the birdhouse of 290 units by $27 per unit. That would give us $7,830. For the bird feeder, you have 250 units by $41, and that would give us 10,250 $10,250. So the finished goods inventory would total to $18,080. For that, we have our cost of goods sold amount of $203,708 for the year December 31, 2016. For the preparation of the selling and administrative expenses budget, the the problem already gave us the following amounts for the selling expenses. So we have sales salaries expense of $70,000. Then we have advertising expense of $18,000. We have telephone expense for selling of $550, and we also have travel expense for of $4,000. That would give us a total selling expense of $92,550. For the administrative expense, we have office salaries expense of $21,000. Then we have depreciation expense for the office equipment of $600. Then we also have a telephone expense of $250, an office supplies expense of $200, and a miscellaneous administrative expense of $400. That would give us a total administrative expense of $22,450. And in total, of the selling and administrative expense, total operating expenses would amount to $115,000. And lastly, for our budgeted income statement for Feathered Friends Incorporated, this is where we have to integrate the other budgets that we were able to get or solve a while ago. So we have the sales revenue of 370,000. Then we deduct from that our cost of goods sold amount of 203,708. If you remember, we got this amount from our cost of goods sold budget that we were able to calculate a while ago. So that would give us a gross profit of $166,292. Next, we would deduct the operating expenses, wherein we incurred a total selling expenses of $92,550 and a total administrative expense of $22,450. So our total operating expense, which was also computed a while ago in our selling and administrative expenses budget of 115,000, we deduct that from our gross profit to get the total income from operations of $51,292. In continuation to that, we have another income of interest revenue of $200, but we also had other expenses of $122 from interest expense. So you have a net effect of $78. So that would give you income before income tax of $51,370. Next is you deduct your income tax expense, which is 30% of your income before income tax. So if you compute that, that would give us an income tax expense of $15,411. So you deduct that from your income before income tax, that would give us a net income of $35,959.